having advantages and disadvantages. Yes, who will speak first? Yes, Muhammad, the son of Sheikh. Yes.
Okay, hi all of you. I greet all of you. Assalamu alaikum. After that, yeah, after that, I want to say the topic today is private schools are better than public schools. Yes, I think private schools are better than public schools in my country. I think most of the countries is like the same in my country because parents want their children to have a good education. So in private schools, their education is high. This is so high level. Even though their money is very expensive, their education and their education is very good. But the public schools, there are a lot of people. They are, I think, most of the poor people. The people they don't have much money. They go the public schools, and they don't have more quality and quantity. And the teachers, they are not quality teachers. The lessons, the rules of the school, they are not quality rules. I think private schools is better. Also, private schools have some issues. Some people they cannot afford to gain lots of money. But they have a good education. They have the best teachers because the people want the money. The teachers want the money. If they get the money, then they will teach you as best. I think private schools is better.
I have a question.
Yes, ask me.
Okay. If a student he doesn't know how to study and he doesn't have money to particular subject and still he is studying in a private school, so how will more how will he get more knowledge about the particular subject?
Which I cannot hear you very well. Your voice is not going well.
Sorry?
Gagan, you were talking about the public school or the private school?
I'm talking about private school. I'm not talking about public school. I have a question.
What you asking?
A student, okay, he is studying in a private school, okay, and he is studying in a best private school.
Okay.
Even he doesn't know how to study, how to read a book and how to notes. So how will he like these things?
Gagan, in private school, everything teachers does. Everything, whatever the thing is, if the student is not able to study, not able to read, or not able to understand, they are explaining again and again, and they are making them to read. In private school, they are making efforts on the child. Although there are many students in a class, say about 30, 35, or maybe around 40, but still, it is their duty because they had given this thing responsibility to teach the students whosoever they have been assigned. So they are putting all their efforts for the student towards the student so that they can learn. They can able to read and understand the things what they are explaining.
Happen in public school.
No. In the public school, teachers are not taking so much of pains as in comparison to the private schools. Public, yes, Gagan.
I have completed my 12th class public public school, how many students are in the school? There are 2,800 students over there. So they are also poor. They were also poor in subjects. Most of the students said many exams like only exam and teachers exam, and they got a good marks in subjects, and they got like in 12th class and they got 80%, 88%. So how can you?
No, you can't say that in public school students are not studying. You can't say this thing. See, whether it is a public school or a private school, everywhere there are weak students also and the intelligent students also. So you can't say this thing that in a public school there are only weak students and in a private school there are only intelligent students and they are scoring good marks in the private schools. Yes.
Actually, I have completed my 12th class from a public school.
Okay.
The students had their school.
There are students?
2,800 students over there.
Okay, fine. In the school, huh? Okay. Yes.
In my area, there are 3 public schools. They have same students like 2,000 and 2,800. There are same students. So why do they want to go in a public school? Why?
Why people don't want to go to public school? That's what you are asking.
Yes, because there are lots of private schools and as well as public schools, but mostly students want to study in the private schools.
You can't. This is not a thing that public studies at public schools are not good. But there are this is the impression that the teachers are not taking the students so seriously in comparison to the private schools. Studies are very good, the syllabus is very good, even the students are studying very well. But the responsibility of the teachers is not, I'm not talking about all the public schools, but yes, at some public schools, you can say that the teachers are not so responsible in comparison to the private schools.
Yes. Public schools, they are not trying to do it.
Yeah, even the public schools, so many students are scoring such a well schools and they are gold medalists and they had even passed this UPSC exams and so many other exams also. So this is not a thing that the public school students are not doing well. They are also doing well. But most of the public schools, the hard work of the students, you can say that the student is working more harder than the teacher. In the public schools, but in the private school, teachers are equally responsible and they are taking equal pains.
So, but the students will have to hard work also in a private school.
Yeah, they have to do the hard work. Because if the student will not do the hard work, then the teacher can't do anything.
Public school.
Public school also, but see, in the public schools, the teachers are taking it not so seriously in comparison to the private schools. And not everywhere, but some of this public schools that I am talking about. Like in Delhi also, the public schools are not so good. in comparison to the private schools.
So KJR has opened the many public schools and they are looking like a private school.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting it clearly. Yes, can you repeat it?
Sorry, Farooq. Hello.
Yes.
Have you finished?
Yeah, but you are audible.
Yes, Farooq.
May I say something?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So, good evening to all of you, first of all.
Good evening.
Okay. Today topic is private schools are better than public schools.
Mhm.
My point of view is something different from this. Why? Because the private schools looks fancy.
Mhm.
Because we are providing money,
Mhm.
so we can say that is better than the public school because we can afford there in private school.
Mhm.
And if something we are getting for free, we do not respect. If something we get and
Yes, who's there?
hello.
Ipsaya's big bro. Yes, what is the problem?
Where are you from?
I'm from India. Where are you from?
I am from China.
Okay, you are from China.
Yeah, I am Chinese. Can
You're
you speak
Chinese?
Chinese?
Yeah, I can speak Chinese.
He was speaking Hindi and he's saying he's Chinese.
Are we here to discuss China only?
Sorry. I cannot speak 7 languages.
Okay, but we are not able to speak 7 languages.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Yes, whatever you want to say, I will speak. Yes, Ipsaya's big bro. You can say whatever you want to say when your turn will come. Okay, you can raise your hand. Fine.
Yeah, please get back to the topic.
Keep your mic mute. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, Farooq, you were saying something.
I was saying something that if we get something free, we do not care about that. That's why we think that a public school is not good. Because when it comes to like university,
Mhm.
we always respect government university, like public university.
Mhm.
Because we can't afford private university.
Mhm.
The students who studying in private schools, they even can't afford in private university.
Mhm.
So in that time, they think that no, public university is good.
Okay.
Sure. Everything is same. All public service is same. But they think that no, private public university is best. They do not go for the private university. Why?
In private school, they are grooming very well. They are grooming the children very well. They are doing so much of
Why they are looking for public university? Because same teacher.
No, teachers are different and the base is different. You know, when the child is young, they have to learn so many things in the schools. But in the college, when they are going to the university, they are grown up. They had already learned what they have to learn. Now, in the colleges, they don't have to learn, they have to study there.
Yes, ma'am, I know, but isn't it true that we can't afford in private university? That's why we tried in a public university.
I don't think so.
Whoever I have seen, at least 90% of them, if they are not affordable in private university, only that student try to get like a public university like IIT and something other, because they can't afford BITS Pilani like something big university which belong to Birla and Tata. They can't afford.
Yeah, that's very true. Because their fees is very high.
Yeah, everyone knows that. So we are responsible because we know that we can afford in private school. That's why we are thinking we are not taking care of public school.
See, to some extent you can say we are responsible, but not not in every sense, you know.
Yeah, we can't say, because government is also not taking care of the public school. They are providing too much money to the teacher. If they are not teaching well, they shouldn't allow to those teacher. They should ask them, what are you doing? If your student are not getting proper marks, you are not doing well, your student are not doing well, you will be responsible for that. But government are not doing such things, and even people like DM, who is the responsible for making every effort in a district, even he is not taking care of the public school. If government will ask that every government services person only allow their children in public school, then public school scenario totally will be different. They will take good care of the public school.
See, there are some public schools where only government officials' children are studying.
Yeah.
There are some public schools.
And that school is even better than the private school. Like you can say that army school, you know army school.
Mm-hmm.
In Navodaya school, Navodaya type school.
Mm-hmm.
Same is a public school. Why they are different from some other public school? Because they have set their example. Only those students will come in that school who will score good marks.
Mm-hmm.
They are not allowed to every student to come over there. But in public school, everyone is allowed. Even the student who don't want to read, they go to that school. And we compare to the private school. That will never be same to same.
Yeah, to some extent you are right, very right. But in these schools, only the government officials' children can study. The army school that you are talking about, the army school. In the army school, only government officials' children can study.
No, there are some school like Navodaya. You know about Navodaya. If you are Indian, you are maybe aware of Navodaya school. Like from Bihar, and when I was studying in class 5, I made attempt at that time, but I couldn't score well, so I couldn't take admission in that school.
Okay.
There are some good public school, but
there are. Yes. We can't say that all the public schools are not good. Yes, but some of them are. See, exceptions are always there. Even the private in the private schools also exceptions are there. So nothing you can say that public schools are perfect or the private schools.
yeah.
Exceptions are there.
Thank you from my side, and let's give other schools.
Yes, thank you. This is my turn. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. I think private school is very great from the public school. Private school is a business, but have a lot of benefits for to the children. And I graduated from a private school, but in our area, one private school is we are very compelling to the private school. It's not a great school, but 90% private school is very great for the students. And nowadays is a very bad situation in public school in our area, in our society. And one teacher have control the one class, and I think it is very illegal way, because one teacher don't know about 5 or 6 subjects. They class for maths, Islamic studies, Pashto studies, chemistry, physics, all subjects they explain to the students. And I think it is very illegal, because student and teacher also bore into the class. And there is the very wrong work in public school nowadays in our society, in our city. I think in this year, government published this way of public school until I think primary degree in primary school, after the primary school, they work by this way. I think the private school is very good than public school.
Okay, go on.
Yes, thank you. This is my idea.
Okay, keep going on. Have you ever got certificate or document from Is there anyone?
Hello?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, in the private school controlled by the principal, because principal and teacher.
Yes, if Saya speaks through, I'm listening to you. I'm sorry, my mic was mute and I was saying something. So I'm ready for it. Yes, if Saya speaks through.
Yes, I think private school controlled by controlling by the principal and teacher, because they want to our children wants a great mark because the famous school, and this way they force by the students for work, for homework. And in the public school, government don't force by the children, because they are enforced by teacher, and that is a wrong way, because one teacher can control one class by all subjects, and all subjects they explain to the students, because the teacher is bored and the students are bored with teacher in 5 or 6 subjects. I think private school is very good from public school.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, it's Saya's big group. It's Saya's big group, yes.
Can you hear me? Just want to ask you something about...
Yes.
Just...
Okay. Abdul Samad, yes,
I wanna express my ideas a little, but just whenever you take a turn to someone, any members of the group, the time should be considered. They should not talk more than 1 minute. You should tell them, yeah?
Okay, please don't take too much of time. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's science, big bro.
Online part.
It's science, big bro.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Have you ever got documents or certificates from private school? I asked you that.
Excuse me, please. Everybody mute your mic. Everybody mute your mic, please. There is too much of noise. Anything 12, please mute your mic. Anything 12, please mute your mic. Anything 12, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine. If science big room, yes.
Oh, I asked you that.
Yeah,
Have
it's
you
fine.
ever got certificate and documents from private school?
Do I have any certificate or do I have any certificate from the private school? That's what you are asking?
Yes. I
Yes,
asked you
you
that.
have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes. Do you want to say about the topic? Private schools are better than public schools?
No, I asked you that. Have you ever got certificate and documents from private school?
Whether I have ever get any document or certificate from the private school for the activities we had done for what you are asking me? The certificate for what? For which thing? For which thing you are asking about the certificate?
Maybe he's talking about academic document.
Academic documents? Are you asking about the academic documents? Or the certificates for what? I don't know. What he's asking.
If you need a job.
From my point of view, maybe he's talking about a diploma, bachelor's degree, and some.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so because private schools are not allowed. Even that certificate is not eligible for the future. Maybe that's why he is asking. I think. I hope so. Maybe I may be wrong.
But the
I
thing
think.
is, school certificates are not having so much of value, you know.
Yeah, that's what I
Having so much of value.
because every student who read in private school who get exam who do his exam from he registration from the public school. He study in private school. When he appear in board exam, he appear from public school. That's why he maybe he.
That is the government. That the government is assigning these things. From the government side, no?
Yeah, that's why he was asking that do you have you got your any certification from private school? That's why maybe he was asking.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I hope so because I don't have clear idea. But
Okay.
Good topic.
Yes, it's what do you say about it?
From my opinion is that the private schools are better than public school because from it that now that one person he said that private school should not be in every country because for me it's better private school because but also when people use to claim that certificate are supported when you get admitted in college. There's not like that. In private school, also sometimes with government have to be 50-50, 50-50. And what to say about the topic?
have to be connected with government 50-50 because to manage everything because even through private cannot manage everything. Hello.
Yes, yes. Yes, I am listening.
Yeah, yeah, am I right?
You said both are having advantages and
Yeah. Yes,
disadvantages.
yes. Private schools are better than public school. Public school that we know, but also while the private school are opening everywhere, they have a partnership with our government. Okay, without partner, they no can open everywhere.
Yes.
Yes, because because when somebody study in private, then they can get a certificate through the government. That means the government have 50-50 share. Uh, 50 private
See,
private.
the private
Yeah,
schools, these private
yes,
schools in Delhi is under the state of the government.
yeah, private.
Basically,
Yeah, private
government
school. Private school has get connected with government. That means they sharing something 50-50. Okay, 50-50 sharing from their profit also with government.
Yeah, hello, madam. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just want to say,
just a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, thank you for giving me opportunity. So today topic is very important. Private school are better than public school. The thing is this: if we see the private school and public school both are building, but inside the building, who taught them? Who taught to the children? Who taught to the student? So this is the differentiation. One is in the private school, the teacher get the money from the public, and public school the teacher get the money from the government. But they both get the money. They both get the salary. But it is the responsibility of the teacher and how he deliver to the student. So if just I give you example. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a teacher, so this is my responsibility to deliver my knowledge in the better way. And this is also my responsibility sincere with my profession. So if the teacher are sincere with their profession, so they will be deliver everything very well. If the teacher are not sincere with our profession, so they will just time pass. So this is the main thing. So I give you the one example. There is a school in our village area. So one of the teacher was there. So I'm talking about the public school. So one of the teacher was there. So he hold all the teacher. He was a principal and he has hold all the teacher. So the teacher will deliver teaching very well. So when he leave the job and he shift to other school, so also the teacher will have get the free environment and they didn't want to deliver our teaching like a better way. So the school will be destroyed gradually day by day. So now that school is not good. So before that school was very good. Now that school was the school was not good now today. What's the problem? What's behind the problem? Because the first teacher was there, he was sincere with our profession. If now I'm just now we just talking about the degree. If someone say I agree with all of you, some school has a video and some school has not video. Just we keep it to a school level, not to university level, not to graduation level. So I already have from Kerala guys. So there are too many schools in Kerala. So all the teachers there are very sincere. All the students are there are very intelligent and they deliver our teaching is a very well way. So if the teacher are sincere, if the teacher have faith and the teacher have integrity, so it's mean they will be deliver our knowledge and they will be consider our salary like a way to Allah. So they consider for ourselves. And the teacher are not sincere with our profession. So how they deliver our teaching to a good way? So this is the main thing. But there are also a lot of school and private side is very well because they just see our image and board exam and they see our image in our business area and they don't want to demerit our education. And there is also a lot of schools they want to demerit, they want to just a business. They just run a school for a business and they just shoot to the green garden, to the nation, to the public, and they want to bring a new student our school for the purpose of business. So if some one is like thinking like that, so I think these type of school never will be success. If someone is thinking like this, if they want the teaching is my profession, uh, and I will be responsible and I will be accountable for all of our teaching to Allah, to the public. So it means they have integrity, and they will be deliver everything very well with interest, with integrity. So this is my point. I think this is enough for today. Okay,
Thank you so much, sharing.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Sure. Just a minute. You said very well that if the management, the one who is holding the one who is responsible for the institution, it depends on him, okay, how he is managing the whole system. So if he is managing it very well, then definitely I think the school will come in a good one list.
Yeah, but in the private school, the management in all disciplines is really sincere. They are really concerned about their management. But in the public schools, so this sector is somehow is low quality.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And even in the private school, they are grooming very well. The students who had who are studying there, they are grooming very well. They are making them to participate in sports. They are making them to participate in other cultural activities, in other activities like painting and the other so many activities are there, so they are making them to participate in all the activities. They are making the students to participate in all the activities. But in the government, in the public school, if you see, they are not at all doing so much of activity. First of all, they are not doing so much of activities, and on the other hand, they are taking only selected students on these activities.
Yeah, so there is one question arises why the students of the private schools, for example, took a high marks in the national entrance exam. So the reason is that so there is a truly competition between all the private schools in a society, in a town, or everywhere they are. So everyone, every course principal or every course management and administration thinks that they should go forward, and they should compete, and they should defeat their competitor. So I will express my own idea. How about
yeah, you are right.
Abdul Samad, the one who has already raised your hand, let us listen to them, and then I'll come back to you, Abdul Samad. Okay, fine. Is it all right?
Okay. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, who's there?
Here is the Eric and you.
Yes, you had raised your hand earlier. Yes, yes.
Okay. I wanted to contribute to today's topic, which says private schools are better than the public schools. According to me, I don't agree with the topic. On one side, it is yes, but on another side, it is no. It is yes because when you compare private schools and public schools, you find that private schools are successful, are more successful than public schools. But why are they more successful? They are more successful because of the pressure in which the workers from private schools work on. And the pressure is like this. When you analyze the workers working in private schools, you find that they get high amount of salary compared to the public workers. Um, so because of that high amount of money they are earning, they also have to work hard to achieve it to the organizational goal. Whenever they fail to achieve it to the goal, they are going to be punished or fired. So that is why they work on goal because of the money they earn. Second, another reason for private school to be successful, it is that whenever you don't achieve to your goal or to the organizational goal in private schools, you are fired and then they hire new workers. But when you go in a private school, I mean in public schools, you will never find such a system of management. First, in public schools, they somehow get a little amount of salary compared to the private schools. And another thing which led the public schools to be under private school is that uh, they are not managed well. They are working on their own. They are self control. So that is what I can say about this topic. But really, when you compare the professionals from private school and the public schools, they are not very different. Sometimes we find more professionals in the public schools than in private schools, but according to how they work, that is where the difference is. The difference is in management. Thank you so much. I wish everyone a good evening.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks a
Thanks
lot.
so much.
So I have been waiting for too long, so I should take me turn,
Okay,
sir host.
okay, fine, fine. Yes.
So, so according to my experience here in our society, I prefer private schools to public schools for a few reasons. So, as you know, that the advantages and disadvantages both have advantages and disadvantages. Private schools and public schools, but first of all, I prefer the private schools to the public schools for a few reasons. So, as you know, the teacher truly works to well school their and well school and educate their students, and the focal point is here the students. And the second that the private school is very for example the management and all the things, so they have really interesting agendas and program for those their students to motivate them and support them in every field of life. And the third one is that so they have the focal point here is the teacher, is the student, I'm sorry, the focal point in the private school is the students, and they all time the trade to implement their energy and implement their focus on the students and how to improve their motivation and how to gain more things and make more facilities for the students in the private schools. And one thing that I'm really concerned about that the private school system is a kind of a personal business, and everywhere, so for example if there is a town there are more than 10 private schools, so they are competing with each other to defeat and to go forward and make their business larger day by day. So that is why every school tries to provide new facilities and new agendas and new programs for the students and for their motivations. But somehow in the public schools and government schools, so they are the same, or it's very well muted. So there is no any for example competition education, so there is no new system, there is no new rules to be created by the principal, by the teachers. So there is only single system. So for example, the exams method or the teaching method or everything is really old fashioned and they are outdated. But in the private schools, so every teacher and every principal can create his own rules to create an environment really friendly environment with your students. And also here in our society, so the environment of the public schools and the private schools is somehow they're different from one another. In the public schools the environment is really messy and there is much more shortages of everything. Even there is no fresh water for for the children to drink it. But somehow in the private schools, so the facilities in the environment and even the building in the classroom are very managed for their students before, as I mentioned. So this is a kind of business. So I prefer the private schools to the high school. But the only one disadvantage of the private school is that if there are the people in the low economical situation, so they can't afford to buy to pay their children's fees per month. For example, there are more than here in Afghanistan, the currency is Afghani, more than 1,000 Afghani. So, but this is the only way disadvantage of the high school is some economical people cannot afford to pay their schools fees. So this is my opinion about the private and the public schools. So hope that you thanks for your paying attention and
May I
goodbye
ask
for now. It's
one
enough for
question?
today,
Thank
inshallah.
you. Thanks a lot, Abdul Samad. Yes, you very rightly you said you had explained very well about the private schools and public schools. Thanks a lot.
So a host. One thing I want from you.
Okay, okay. Yes.
So that for example you are listening to the different people from the different country, to the different English spoken and the grammatical structure, that you should at least give a feedback to everyone in the WhatsApp group who was the first speaker of this day or of this night about this one. So who express which well grammar, which sentence structure, pronunciation, at least a feedback. For example, this night for example, this is a competition. We are discussing about a topic and we are sharing ideas with each other. So this is only our English practice. So you should give a feedback to everyone that for example to this night in this meeting about the private in the social schools. So for example planquet or someone is well fluency or something is, it's just feedback, yeah.
Excuse me.
Abdul Samad, I'm sorry, I can't do
Uh-huh.
that because
Uh-huh.
I'm not comparing anyone here.
Hello.
So there will be a comparison if I'll grade anyone. So that I can't do because everyone are same, and we are learning here. Everybody is learning here. They are trying to conversate in English. So we can't grade them.
Yeah,
Hello.
so all the members of this group, they are very versed in English, so they are fluent English speaker. But somehow the feedback is really essential to be given to anyone. For example, how was your work? So they will motivate more and more and more, and
But
they will get to train more and more to become more fluent.
Brother, listen to me. This
Abdul
video
Samad,
also
I think
upload
you
on
have
the.
got your time. You have got more than your time. You
Yeah,
should also
I
respect
want
wide
yeah.
to
I'm
opportunity
sorry.
to other to
I'm
speak.
sorry. I am sorry for taking your time.
Yes,
Sorry for that.
yes,
Sorry.
brother.
one
Yes,
We'll talk
brother.
it
I agree
later on.
with
Yes,
you. I
Vikas
can
Murtuza.
understand your feelings.
Yeah, I want
Yes,
to ask you
Vikas
one
Murtuza.
question. One
Okay,
second.
but this grading system will demotivate the others.
Okay. I want to ask one question
Okay,
only.
okay. Speak. Okay, speak.
How many of you ever complained in the district like district magistrate that public school is not doing well?
I don't think anybody has complained here
Yes,
in
ma'am,
this
but
group.
Nobody will
Yes.
complain on the public school.
if
Well,
your son,
this is this is
if
the
your brother,
difference in every, at very
if your
places.
brother is studying in private school and you are paying money from your pocket, then if he is not progressing, what will you do? Will you complain in private school or not?
Yeah, we'll go to the school and
Yes,
to
yes,
the parents will
So
complain.
we will
Definitely, that's
complain
what we will.
ma'am,
against.
my point is that we are only responsible. The student who want to learn who go to private
See,
school.
see, if
The
we are
student who don't
complaining,
want to.
if we are complaining in the public school, the management there, whosoever the principal is there, they are not taking action. But in the private school, if we are going to the management, the principal, they are taking actions.
Yeah, I want to say only they will take action or not. First of all, have you ever tried? No.
Yes.
At least one people will complain from one village, yeah, one mohalla. Then many of complaint can arise to in front of DM, and if they will see that kind of problem. I must say that he will take some action. But we are responsible, and
But
we do not
leading
care
a
about.
team is not an easy task.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Like, if you are not complaining to DM, there is a video in village development officer, because we think that this is free. We don't care about that. Our son brother is reading or not. We don't care about that, because we are not paying money from our pocket. Government is paying for that, so that is not our money indirectly. We are thinking like this. But in private school, we think that that is our money. That money we are earning day by day, and that money is we are giving to them. So we have option, and we have what we can say, that we have to ask at any cost that my child is doing well or not. But when it's come to government school, we do not ask. This is the biggest problem in India. That's why public school is not doing well. I
Okay.
think I may be wrong, but this is my point, and that's all. Let the other chance to.
Your point is correct, but the thing is that complaining to DM is a very, it's not an easy task, and
Even if we
complaining
are,
in the school itself
even
is
if
it
we
is
are
easy.
not complaining to DM, have we ever asked to headmaster of that school?
Yes.
Have you asked ever?
Headmaster is the principal, no?
Principal.
Principals are not taking too much, so much of actions against the complaint.
But I
In the
don't
public
think
schools.
we have ever go to complain against our children, because mostly the people who send their kids to public school, they are.
Advantages and disadvantages. If we come to firstly come to a public schools, these schools are being maintained with the money of the government, and these schools are very helpful for the child, for the families who could not afford private schools. At the same time, because the children belong from low income setup, and their parents which could not support, uh, which could not afford the private schools, and they have more children, they prefer for public schools. And the problem is this: in the public schools, the children's the students are more in the class, and the teacher, it's not possible for the teacher to give attention to the all the students. This happens only the intelligent children get success in the public schools, but the children who belongs, but the children who have low mental level or who are not much intelligent, such type of children cannot get success in the public schools. But if we see at parallel level private schools, in private school, the the classes are limited to the number of the students, and many of the maximum 20 students in a class. And in private school, teachers can pay easily attention to each and every students, and particularly parents can complain to the principal or the class teacher about the education system. And it is the compulsion for the private school holders to teach all the students at at equivalent level, because they have to live in a competitive environment. If their school environment is not good and they are not giving a proper education, then they will become obsolete from the market, and their school get very low rating, and it will it affects their business. That's why in the private schools, over complaints are being listened and addressed, and just uh, due to the reason that private school holders doesn't want that their school get low rating in the market. Um, so both public and private schools have benefits and disadvantages. As far as disadvantages of private schools is concerned, the people who belong from low income setup, they could not afford to teach their children in the private schools, and they have to move to the public sector schools. So if I sum up, I would like to say that public schools are much important in our society, because over 70% of the population is living at average poverty level, or even below poverty level. So education is important for all the children. So in public school, every student can get the education, uh, and they can get success in their life. So we cannot say that public schools are not important. Both schools have advantages and disadvantages. In private schools, usually it happens that uh, school holders pay much more attention to the students, and they also introduce new uh, new system in their schooling system just to motivate the children in the education fields. But at the same time, in the government school, this is not possible, because the government school policies are being centralized from the government, and it is not possible for the government to implement all the policies which that have been adopted by the private schools. So both public schools and private schools are better at their own place. It's all about the financial status of the society, uh, which school the society could afford. That's all from my side, and thank you for your patience hearing.
Thanks a lot, Vakas Murtaza. Thank you so much. Yes, firstly, Azim.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you are doing good, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk on, so I may better understand the system, I may better explain. So yes, I agreed with the previous person who said that there are some advantages and disadvantages of government sector schools or colleges. I agree to that point. Yes, I agree to that point. Firstly, I would come on the disadvantages or the negative aspects or weaknesses of the government sectors. So yes, there are many weaknesses. For example, if students are studying in the government sectors, so the exams are not, the teachers are not gonna arrange the exams just like the private sectors, because I have also taught different subjects in private schools, and I myself studied up to 12th in private college. So yes, there they would arrange midterm exam and your final exam. They would just arrange different quizzes. They would give you assignments. They would just they would just give you a unit test in which you have to prepare. Whenever some task is assigned to you, then the students had the pressure to go and study that task and to attempt the exam. So on the exam point of view, there are a lot of exams and quizzes which help students prepare for their upcoming adventures and studies. So there is a lack of examination in the government sector. The second one is that I have experienced and I have felt that there is also lack of different laboratory materials in the government sectors. Many apparatus are missing. Some of the apparatus which are present are not working properly, and if they just make list, then it would take a lot of time to the action to be taken on their request. It take a lot of time. So, and also if the teacher is not teaching properly, then there is no one to ask them. According to rules and regulations, there are some bodies like the principal or the headmaster and the inspection team, which often come and visit the college frequently and suddenly, but even they catch them, but at the end point they are not able to just implement the government rules on them. If they are not teaching properly, some teachers would come lately, some teachers would not be teaching properly. But yes, I just also want to share about the advantages of the government sectors. For example, the first thing is that their teachers are very high quality. They have high quality of education because they just hire teachers who come on the basis of different tests and interview, who come on the basis of commission test. So the teachers and the professors there are they are having.
Excuse me. Prakash, can you please mute your mic?
Hello,
Yes, Fazlin. I'm sorry.
can you hear me? I'm sorry, I just mistakenly pressed the unmute.
Yes. Now you can say.
Yes, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I was talking about the advantages.
Yes.
Okay, so I just explained the disadvantages or the weak points of government sectors. Now I would want to have a view on the advantages of the government sectors as well. So I was just discussing that the teachers they hire come through proper channel. They come through interview, they come through test like the government teachers, and they have high quality of educations. They are just genius people. They are professor. So that's I think they are more capable of the teachers that are teaching in the public schools. I'm not saying that the public school teachers are not genius or they are weak, but on the basis of experience as well, they are more experienced and they are more capable. They often come through proper channel and they clear the test. After that, they come through proper channel and join. So that's a good point in the government sectors. They know a lot, they have a lot of experience, and they know different ways to teach you, different ways to treat different students. So then it depends upon the students as well. I would just also include the students' responsibility. I have heard from my friends in this group, they have discussed the good points and the bad points of government sectors, but they did not talk, I guess they did not talk about the students' responsibility. It also equally depends upon the students. If a student is not serious, then even he would be weak. He would not bring good marks if he is studying in that private school. And if his parents are investing too much on their children, if they are not serious, if they are weak, if they are not studying properly, then they would not have good grades. So it also depends upon the responsibilities that the students can take. So yes, it's my personal experience. Like I had to take the class even to 2 students or 3 students in the government sectors, and the rest of the students would just go outside, they would not be they were not actually be present in the class. So yes, it also depends upon the students. And I think if someone aims to have a good future, if someone struggles, if someone is committed, if someone is sound, if someone is good at studies, he can also have good future. He can also have good grades and good percentage and good marks while studying in the government sector as well. I mean, whenever the student is serious, he raises questions on the teachers. He asks the teachers. He just put complaint on teachers to the headmasters. Then the teachers also feel that the student is interested. So the teachers, even if they want, if they just don't want to work properly, do their job properly, this complaint and this struggle of students turn them to be a good teacher. They are compelled to do their job properly. Then they do start doing things properly. So it is also the responsibility of the students to work properly, to study properly, to ask the teacher in class, to go to teachers to discuss different topics, etc. So yes, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Fazlazim. Yes, the private school or the public school, both of them are having advantages and disadvantages. Yes, you're very right. And
Yes.
yeah, this is very true. Everywhere it happens. Everywhere there are advantages and disadvantages, and the same is here.
Yes, and it also depends upon the students now, if they can grab the opportunity or not. If they are not able to grab the opportunity, if they are not able to utilize the facilities of the public sector, private sector, then obviously they would be fair. And I have if we see the doctors who are senior doctors having the age of 70 years or 80 years, then in their starting time, there were very few private schools and private sectors. Majority of them have studied in the government schools, but they are high professional, they are high qualified, and they are genius doctors and engineers. So that's the points which shows that it also depends upon the students. If they are serious, then if they are motivated, if they are work ethnic, then they can achieve things in their life. They can have good career. They can be good professional. They can study better, even while even they are not provided the opportunity to go to private schools, and if they are compared to go and attend the public sectors. So it also depends upon the students.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yes, you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fazlazim. Yes, Khan Jahan Ali Chaudhary.
Hi there, teachers.
Hi.
Well, in my point of view, private school, everything has pros and cons. So private school has some bad side or some good side, as well as in public it's called government school is has a good side or a bad side. As a student of school, I can say in private school they have their schedule, hard schedule for the students. But in public school they haven't any schedule for their students. Like for government, it's a government job. Like every teacher just thinking if they will teach the students, so they will get same money, and if they don't teach, so exactly they will get as the same money. So in case of public school teachers are day by day they're just getting downs with their student study. And private school, I can say they're taking so much money to the student, though but they provide good ways to the student to move forward. So there is not that much difference between private school or public school, just different certificate value as well as also I think that's all.
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot, Khan Jahan Ali Chaudhry. Yes, you very rightly said that teachers in the public schools, teachers are thinking that they will get the salary whether they will teach their students or not. But in private schools, the responsibility lies a lot on the teachers, and they have to show the progress or the work, whatever they had made efforts, and they have to update this study. Teach the what should I say? They have to upgrade according to the changes in the modernized world. They have to upgrade themselves in the teaching also, and they have to teach according to the um, uh, according to the scenario, you can say, or according to the modern world, whatever the changes are coming in this scenario or in the atmosphere, they have to teach accordingly and upgrade themselves.
Yep, right, Shiva.
Yeah, in private sectors, the teachers are upgrading themselves. But in the public sectors, they are not upgrading. They are not trying to upgrade themselves.
Yeah. That's a crucial point.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yes, Ruby Kumari.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. Thanks for giving me a chance, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, the topic is private school are better than public school. Ma'am, I think it is true in English language that don't judge a book by the cover in the same way. Look at the school building and whether it is a government school buildings or a private school buildings. To looking at it building we can't care whether good education is important or not. Am I right?
If good education is important or not, yes, it is important. Good education is very important.
Yeah, ma'am. In my perception, both government or private school, private some advantage and disadvantage. But the mode of communication of government school in regions and language, and the government and the mode of communication private school of English and Hindi. Maximum focus on English language. Government school are affiliated to state boards, and private school are affiliated CBSE board, and government school are well known in our country like Navodaya school, KV school, and Army school, where get quality of education and strict disciplines. And private school fully focus on qualities of education and strict discipline and punctuality, hygiene, PTMs, and daily and homework checked. And less fees, but private school fee is very high. Government school provide free books, study materials, food, and government facilities and awards scholarship or students. Uh, beneficial for poor peoples are rural areas, and private school provide better facility, infrastructures, and equipment and electricity, smart classroom and furniture, etc. Even government school teachers like to send their own children on private school, and private school on ones are many minded very costly fee books and study materials and other charging. Even then, private school students have to pay uh, extra tuition classes, and in private school there are many co-culturals and activities are held like debate and competition, function, sports, games, school, and magazines and educational tours. And teachers in government school are highly qualifications. They are selected after tough exams and interviews. And government teachers are not dedicated for students' result, because government teachers are kept busy in non-teaching works like election, populations, and census, and pulse polio and COVID vaccine. Uh, Private school teachers are dedicated and hard work. In and that's all, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ruby Kumari. Yeah, they are dedicated and hardworking. That's what you wanted to say in private schools? Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody, for your cooperation and such a nice conversation we had done. Thanks a lot. Anybody else wants to say about it, about the subject? No? Okay, fine. We'll conclude the class today. Okay, fine. Everybody, thank you, everybody, and good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.